Hey, what's up, everybody? What's going on? I hope you guys are doing good. I am on the road again. Just can't wait to get on the road again. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. And I'm walking through the Atlanta airport, by the way, and I heard this interesting story that I wanted to share with you all that I think has a huge financial lesson attached to it. If you listen carefully, you'll get it. So I was showing so I have my bag, right? And on my suitcase, in order to make sure nobody mistakes my bag for their bag, I put a dirty sock on my suitcase. My wife thinks it's disgusting. I think it's pretty smart, honestly. You know, hey, well, who's counting? Anyway, so I keep this sock on my bag, and nobody takes my bag. It's like, who would take a bag that's got a sock on it, and it ain't your shoe size? Well, I have two interesting things to say about that. As I was mentioning that to the brother who checked me in at Delta, he told a story. He said, that's a great idea. And I said, really? I said, yeah, thank you. Think so? He said, yeah. He said, because people will walk into the airport and just steal bags. They'll just take the bag off the conveyor belt and keep it moving. He said, it has happened twice this month. He said, in fact, the last guy that got arrested for taking a bag like that was an former NFL player, right? And I thought about that, right? So here's what I want to try and kind of share, and I want you to kind of think about this. Process this for a minute, right? When you think about being in the NFL, does that make you think of a person who is rich or somebody who's poor? Like, if somebody goes to the NFL, people think, oh, your dreams have come true. God has blessed you. You're going to be rich. Your life is going to be great, right? You know, they sign up, they get drafted maybe, and you think you're going to be rich forever. And people don't see the dark side of that the average NFL career is between 2 and 4 years. And what a lot of guys end up doing is they get addicted to making lots of money, and then they get some other addictions that might come with it. Maybe addiction to some types of drugs they need in order to play. Maybe addiction to a lifestyle that is not always the healthiest. Maybe they have babies, mamas they got to take care of because they got all these women that they thought they were winning the prize by getting all these women. Next thing you know, you got nothing but problems. For every woman, there's 5 problems that come with it, because now your broke ass can't pay the child support no more, but you got 5 people banging down your door. So it's very depressing, right? Now, here's the worst part about it. This is how they trick the black men. See, this is everything that glitters ain't gold. I ain't even talked about the brain damage. And like the 99% of all NFL players have CTE. I haven't even talked about that. So here's the other part that's interesting. A lot of our young boys are trained to believe that if you are athletically gifted, that playing sports is your way out the hood, that football is your only chance, and you got to pour everything into football, right? Like you gotta just, this is your dream. And then they make movies about it and shit, and they make other kids, they see the movie, they're like, oh, if I work hard, I can reach my dream too. But they don't tell you about those NFL players whose careers come to an end at the age of 26. Because they poured everything into football, they don't have any marketable skills or ability to get a job that gives them an income anywhere close to what they're addicted to. They're addicted to getting, a few $100,000 a year. Now they can't do that, because you think about it, if you can't hardly read, if you were so caught up in sports, like, think about it, people don't even care. Like, literally, if you are a good athlete, people don't give a shit about your grades. Antoine Walker, who made $100 million and blew it all, everybody at the University of Kentucky knew that this dude probably couldn't read. I talked to a guy, my friend, he went to Harvard. He was a Jewish guy, and he was on this committee to evaluate academic misconduct. And he said that one of Antoine's English teachers had brought him up on charges of academic misconduct because he claimed he felt like he had cheated on his paper, right? So they made him go into a room, and they said, we want you to go in this room and write for 30 minutes on any topic you want, and we're going to compare the writing on this paper to the writing that was turned in previously. He said I've seen 6-year-olds write better than that. He said, I was stunned. And he wasn't saying it to be racist. He was saying it's almost like a concerned person to say, I don't know if he can read. And so but you know what? He was winning championships for the University of Kentucky, so they didn't give a damn if he could read or not. This is what happens when you put your black boys in these damn systems. You put your black boys in these systems and they milk them like cows. So going back to the reason I did this live is I heard this story about this brother who was a former NFL player, formerly on top of the world, and you making money, you balling dog, you the winning, you black excellence, you're my inspiration. He's in the airport stealing luggage, getting arrested for stealing other people's bags. And a lot of times people do dirt like that because they don't have no other ethical, legal way to make money. They say that the love of money is the root of all evil. I don't believe that. I believe that being broke is the root of all evil. I believe that if you ain't got no money and you got bills to pay and you need that money to maintain a lifestyle that you feel that you have become accustomed to, you might consider doing some evil stuff in order to get it done. And because a lot of these black boys never learned the fundamentals of money as a kid, they can't go out and compete and get the money that they need. They don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about investing. They never learned about real estate. Never learned about savings. Never learned about any marketable skill that they could get. Even the ability to get a good job. They got engineers and computer programmers and all kinds of jobs out here paying six figures. But he couldn't do none of that. You know why? Because he was only trained to do one thing: to throw a ball for white people. That's it. To throw and catch a goddamn ball for white people. That's what they literally take your brilliant sons, they could be kings, presidents, leaders, scientists, and they say, no, we want you to be the guy who can throw and catch a ball and get white people to cheer for you. That's it. And then when we're done with you, we're going to throw you out at the age of 26 as a 26-year-old retiree with no marketable skill and wish you the very best and drop you off and back our dump truck back up in the hood and just drop you off. So the next thing you know, you're 30 years old, sitting on the corner with a liquor bottle in your hand, talking about all the great things you did in high school. I was the man in high school. I was state champion in high school. Don't I give a shit? You're 30, man. You're 30. Your kids ain't judging you based on what you did in high school. Your kids are judging you on whether or not you picked them up from school today. Your kids are judging you based on whether or not you was able to provide for the family. Their kids don't care what you did in 1999 or 2005. So ultimately this story to me was a tragic wealth story. To hear about this guy, an NFL player who was seen as a beacon of success and hope. He was never a beacon of hope. He was a beacon of false hope. But a lot of us will see these guys get these NFL contracts and really think that they're just balling out of control. The NFL players that I really admire the most are people like Dr. Myron Roll. I like Dr. Myron Roll because he was the best of both worlds. I don't know if Myron and I are friends or not. All I know is that he reached out to me on Twitter and asked me if he could send me a copy of his book. And I said, absolutely, brother. And I said, I respect you. And the reason I respect Myron Roll is because Myron Roll was one of the baddest defensive backs to ever play college football. He played at Florida State. If Deion Sanders was the best DB at Florida State, Myron Roll might have been number 2. I believe he was number 2 because he was an All-American. He was a bad boy. I don't know if they won a championship or not, but he was extraordinary. Myron Roll was going to get drafted in the NFL draft, and probably in the top 10 because he was that good. Do you know what he did that shocked those white folks? He said, I don't want to go to the NFL right now. I got better things to do. He went and took a Rhodes Scholarship. He went to Myron Roll. He went to London and studied like science or some shit. Like he did, he took his Rhodes Scholarship. He said, I'll consider joining the NFL once I come back from my Rhodes Scholarship. And they were like, you're not dedicated to the sport. No, you just don't own him like a slave. Or you're not fully committed to the team. No, he's just... The number one thing that a black man can have to give him power is options. Anybody who has the most options always has the most power. So I love the fact that Myron, he took his God-given gift to play football. He eventually played, I think, for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was all pro. He was extraordinarily good for a number of years. But now Dr. Myron Roll is about to be a surgeon. I think he's doing his residency at Harvard University. And I said, that's my type of guy right there. That's the guy who figured it out. What he figured out is the secret. The secret is that if you could be great at football, you can really be great in anything. If anybody who's ever played a sport, I don't know if y'all ever played a sport. Let me know if you ever played a sport. If you've ever played a tough sport, like football or track and field where we used to run so hard we had to vomit. Like literally we would vomit, and then we'd have to keep running after we vomited. If you've ever done a tough sport like that, you'll know that that gives you everything you need to be successful in life. If you apply that same level of commitment and work ethic to everything you do, you can't lose. You'll win at everything. I can say humbly that I have been a winner in my life. I'm 51. I don't look back on my life and say, man, don't do what I did. I messed up. I threw most of my life away. I do not feel that way at all. Every day I wake up and I thank my former self for investing in me so that I can have the life that I have, so I can do the things I do, so I can live the way I live, right? So here's the thing. Here's the secret. Everything that I used to become successful was what I picked up from playing sports. Sports teaches you self-discipline. Sports teaches you work ethic. Sports teaches you mental toughness. Sports teaches you teamwork. Sports teaches you goal setting. Sports teaches you so many things that you can use that will make you successful everywhere. So what I don't understand is this. I never understand when I see a guy who is the best football player in the world, done played at the highest level, got the discipline to play in the NFL. Do you know how hard that is? And then you get out in the rest of your life and you're just failing everywhere. You're not failing due to a lack of ability. You're failing due to a lack of effort. You have a fully transferable skill that would probably help you succeed at anything you wanted to do. The problem is bad culture. You, unfortunately, were raised in a culture where athletic ability trumped everything else, and that if you were good at sports, nothing else mattered. And next thing you know, you are a 28-year-old NFL retiree who's stealing luggage out of the Atlanta airport because nobody ever sat him down for a good 2 hours and taught him how to make money another way. Taught him how to use all the connections you get as an NFL player so you can start a business when you're done. Never taught him all the different ways that a person with that level of work ethic and initiative could start companies, make investments, make major moves, put himself in a great situation. You know, nobody ever taught that. So that's my 2 cents, man. That's what I was thinking about today, and I didn't plan on talking to y'all about that. I literally had this conversation with the Delta clerk on my way in, and I said, you know, let me talk to my people about this because maybe this will help somebody. So anyway, God bless you. I'm out. Go to my, if you click the link in the bio, I'm doing an event on Thursday that is free for everybody that is in the Black Business School. And the Black Business School is free, by the way. You can get started for free. And it's basically how to get started with stock options. Stock options are a great way to make money. They're a great way you can sell options and make cash. This is how I make my money every month. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. I make thousands of dollars every single week selling stock options like that, and I love it because it's better. The ROI is better than my other investments like real estate and all that. Also, it doesn't require any work. I can do it on my phone. So if you want to just get an overview, feel free to come to the event Thursday. Click the link in the bio. You can join for free, and we'll chop it up. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good day. Love you.